Here at the Government Information Center. I am your host this afternoon, and my name is Shianwa Desire Kahiha. We are looking at having a public engagement on the current COVID-19 dispensation. But before we go into that, we would like to please call on Dr. Esther Mwinyangwe to give us the COVID update for the 14th, I believe, 15th of March?
For 15th of March.
Yes. Thank you very
Today
much.
is 16, isn't it?
Yes.
Sorry, for the 15th. All right, thank you very much for giving me the floor. And good afternoon, fellow Namibians. We announced 16 positive cases from 942 results in the last 24 hours reporting cycle, representing 1.7% positivity ratio. Of these, 13 are new cases and 3 are reinfections. 9 are males, of which 7 are new cases, and 7 are females, of which 6 are new cases. The age range is from 17 years to 90 years. The new COVID-19 positive cases and reinfections are distributed as follows. 4 from Windhoek, and those 4 are new cases with 2 reinfections, which means the total from Khomas is 6. Oshana 3, and all 3 are from Oshakati. Erongo 3, Wolfish Bay 2, with also 1 reinfection, so which means 3 from Wolfish Bay and 1 new case from Swakopmund. Omusati is 1 from Sandi, Oshodonjupa 1 from Okahanja, and Ohangwena also 1 from Engela. Among the confirmed cases, 1 is Elena. 9 cases are fully vaccinated, of which 5 have received a booster dose, while 7 cases are not vaccinated. 46 cases from 3 regions have recovered. Khomas has recorded 37 recoveries, Oshikoto 8, and Oshodonjupa 1. With those recoveries, the active cases now are 195. 17 cases are currently hospitalized across 7 regions. 2 hospitalized cases are fully vaccinated, while 15 cases are not vaccinated, constituting 88.2%. 3 cases are in ICU, and all 3 cases are not vaccinated. The distribution of hospitalization of confirmed cases per region is as follows. Oshikoto 5, Khomas 5, with 3 in ICU, Oshana 2, Erongo 2, Karas 1, Kavango East 1, Hartap 1, and the total is 17 hospitalized with 3 in ICU. We have not recorded any death during the period under review. By 14 March 2022, a total of 437,995 people aged 18 years and older have received 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, representing 30% of the target population. A total of 127,712 people have received the J&J vaccine, while 250,869 adults have received 2 doses of other vaccines types. Hence, 378,581 adults have completed their vaccination translating to 26% of the target population. A total of 128 individuals have received component 1 of Sputnik vaccine, and 76 have received component 2 of the same vaccine. In other words, a total of 204 doses of Sputnik were administered, and those doses are also included in the grand totals. 10,685 children aged 12 to 17 years have received 1 dose of the Pfizer vaccine, representing 3.5% of the target population, which is 307,298. Of these, 3,008 are fully vaccinated, which means that the cumulative number of people vaccinated with the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine for both adults and children is 448,680, of which 381,589 are fully vaccinated, translating to 21.4% of the target population of 1,779,271. 33,699 people have received COVID-19 booster dose. The summary of the national update as of 15 March is as follows. Cumulative newly confirmed individuals, 157,471. Newly confirmed individuals, 13. New reinfections, 3. So that gives us cumulative cases, including reinfections, standing now at 159,563. Recoveries, 155,339. The recovery rate is 97.3%. Active cases are 195. Cumulative COVID-19 vaccine first dose, 448,680. Cumulative COVID-19 vaccine second dose, 253,877. Cumulative COVID-19 vaccine completed, 381,589. COVID-19 deaths, 3,685. COVID-19 related deaths, 329, which gives us a total number of deaths, 4,014. Total samples tested, 970,775. Active contacts, 171. Cumulative number of people quarantined, 89,531. While 89,051 people have been discharged from quarantine facilities, leaving us with 480 people in quarantine facilities. Thank you very much. That concludes the update for today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mwenyangwe. And we would actually like to thank you very much based on the results that we've been receiving of late. I believe that we've actually made strides in fighting COVID, and we would like to show our appreciation by thanking you as being part of those spearheading bodies that really guided our country through this tough time. The fight is still continuing, but you have made strides. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those kind words. And I also need to thank the Namibians for keeping on adhering to the COVID-19 protocols. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, getting back to our topic this afternoon, as you have heard, results are looking positive, they are motivating, yet we are reminded to please continue adhering to regulations that are in place. They have been relaxed, they have been eased, especially if we were paying attention to the 41st COVID update by His Excellency President Hage Gottlieb Geingob yesterday afternoon. Continuing, we said we are having an engagement with you, our viewers, and this is to the regard of the current COVID-19 dispensation. We would like to hear your opinion. We would like to hear your questions. We are not experts, but let's indulge in a conversation. Let us hear what each of us thinks about a particular thing to this regard. And do remember that you can call us in, you can comment on our comment sections on our various social media platforms. Our call-in line is 061 400 397. 400 397. That's the call-in number here in the studio. And then our social media platforms, Facebook, you can find us at Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, the Republic of Namibia, Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Republic of Namibia. We are also live streaming from our YouTube platform, and our handle there is MICT Namibia. Simply MICT Namibia. That is our handle on the YouTube channel. Remember, it's a conversation. So bring it on. Let us engage in this conversation. You never know. You might say something that might teach somebody else something new today. In the studio, I am being joined by my co-host for this afternoon. Her name is the beautiful Hileni Hamunyala. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me.
Good afternoon, Desire. It's a pleasure to be here.
At least I won't be lonely on the platform this afternoon.
Not at all. I'll keep you company.
Thank
and
you.
the viewers.
Yes, please.
Yes.
To kick off, before we dive into the conversation about COVID and where we are currently with COVID, there is something worth celebrating, and this was added onto the statement by Dr. Kalimbi Shangula yesterday afternoon, and this is with regards to the successes that have been made in overcoming the breakout of hepatitis E. Now, Hileni, I don't know. I guess it's from a space of, putting things two and two together, lines of thought.
And perspective, yes?
Yeah, and as we're celebrating this hepatitis success or overcoming of hepatitis outbreak, and also keeping in mind the similarities with regards to the transmission of these two diseases, one would wonder, do you think that the stringent COVID-19 regulations actually played a role, if not singularly played a role, in helping us overcome the hepatitis E?
Quite frankly, I believe so, yes. I believe it helped because both diseases you acquire through hygiene measures. So the washing of hands is also one of the measures that Ministry of Health would advise you to keep once as far as the hepatitis E disease is concerned, and the same goes for the COVID-19. So I believe it actually helped in curbing hepatitis E.
Yeah. No, I think I share the sentiments of Ms. Hamunyala here, because at the end of the day, if we look at the strict and the quick reactions that we had to COVID-19, singularly, if you just look at hepatitis, it is transmitted through things like your droplets. Yes. It's transmitted through unhygienic surfaces, unhygienic environments, and all these things. And COVID-19 is one that is also one that is transmitted through the transfer of droplets, the prolonged shelf life of the virus on surfaces, and also the fact that the unhygienic environments tended to create a breeding ground, if I can call it that, for hepatitis E, for example.
That's true.
And what happened when COVID-19 hit?
Yeah.
It was like a huge cleaning campaign
It
that
was.
went on.
Indeed, it was. Everybody is keeping track of clean surfaces, with the washing of hands, the using of sanitizers, and those would eliminate the bacteria of hepatitis E in a way. So we actually killed a bird with
Two birds with
two
one
birds
stone.
with a single stone. Yes.
Yeah.
if I
We've
can
got
say.
Daniel from Oshakati on the line right now joining our conversation. Good afternoon, Daniel. How are you? Hello, Daniel. I believe we've lost Daniel. We'll get back. Daniel, if you could call us back, we would highly appreciate that. Please, you are welcome to join the conversation. Just call us back. We will engage with you. Remember, to whoever else wants to join the conversation, our call-in line is 061 400 397. 061 is the area code, 400 397. You are highly welcome to join this conversation. We were taking a look at how, like Ms. Hamunyela stated, the killing of two birds with one stone. Theory, because at this point in time, the last death due to hepatitis E was actually recorded in September 2020.
So you can imagine, and the pandemic outbreak of COVID-19 was first reported here in Namibia, I believe, speaking under correction, but I believe it was in February 2020.
Yes, 2020. I think the first cases were reported on March the 14th, I believe. And a few months later, we had our last recorded death caused by hepatitis E. So honestly speaking, I think some of these bacterias and infections and whatever tend to have similar ways of being combated.
Yes.
And I think most of the time it speaks to our environments, the hygiene, and so on. And hopefully, with the efforts that were made by the various municipalities across the country, along with NGOs, governments, councillors, and so on. For example, I remember we had a situation with some of the informal settlements where they had really, really unhygienic riverbeds where you would find children playing in these areas. There was a water situation and so on. But due to the COVID pandemic, a lot of these riverbeds were cleaned up.
Yes.
And
indeed,
the supply of water also became more consistent.
Yes.
I remember a few weeks ago, we had a representative from the city of Windhoek, and he kind of gave us an idea of how much was spent to try and upgrade, within the past few years, to try and upgrade the water infrastructure in these informal settlements.
Indeed. And to that, we would just like to salute the city of Windhoek and other local authorities for coming to the table and providing water to the nation, because it really did play part, especially at the beginning of the outbreak. I mean, those who had water problems, or let's say water were in depth of water with the local authorities, they were actually allowed to still utilize their water, because then the local authorities paid their debt, or an arrangement was made for them to still be able to have running water in their houses, considering the virus spreads more in unhygienic conditions. And for that, really would like to comment the local authorities, the city of Windhoek, and the various across the country. That was a job well done.
Very much. One would definitely give that applause some volume. Remember, our social media platforms are open for you to be able to join this conversation. Facebook, our handle there is Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Republic of Namibia. Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Republic of Namibia. We are also live streaming from our YouTube channel, and our handle is MICT Namibia. MICT Namibia. That is where you can find us on YouTube. You can drop us comments in our comment section on these platforms, as well as ask questions in the case where maybe you have a question that we might help you with, or somebody else who calls in might actually be able to answer or assist us in answering that particular question. Ms. Hamunyela, yesterday, the president announced the lifting of the mandatory part of the usage of masks. But before we get into that, we've got Pandu from Windhoek on the line. Good afternoon, Pandu. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
No, we are well. How would you like to add your voice to the conversation this afternoon?
Basically, I just have a question for the two hosts in the studio.
Yes.
To rather re-emphasize on what the president said.
Pardon me?
In the new dispensation, if you could perhaps just re-emphasize on that, we appreciate it.
Sorry, Pandu, can you
Yesterday.
Sorry, Pandu, can you repeat that?
Can you kindly re-emphasize on what the president said yesterday? Because some of us were not following. So it would be great if you guys can just perhaps go through the new measures again for us.
Okay,
Those
okay.
who didn't follow.
Okay. No, we will do that for you, Pandu, as the session goes on for this afternoon. Definitely a very good request there.
So that-
And that it is, as Pandu was saying, maybe it would be required for us to try and just give some of the regulations
Insights,
that
yeah.
were stated, or changes in regulations that were stated by the president. And this next one is actually one of those. And this is the removal of the mandatory part
Wearing.
of the usage of masks. That is one of the changes that came in the regulations, or the changes that were stated by the president yesterday within the regulations. Remember that over the past few years, the usage of masks,
Face masks, yes.
yes, of face masks, was mandatory to the point where the lack thereof in public areas was a criminal offense.
Indeed, it was.
You could get arrested, you could get fined, you
Yes.
could get charged by not wearing your mask in public places. So that is the section
Yeah.
that was removed.
Yeah. In fact, a year ago, if you were to rock up somewhere without your face masks, you were you were not to be allowed in shops. In shops, for example, you were not to continue if you didn't have it. So it shows the strides that have been made and how far we come as a country. Really, a lot has been done, and we appreciate. I, for one, have been looking forward to this day where we tend to live our normal lives again, as masks will not be mandatory in public places or spaces anymore.
But yesterday, Dr. Shangula used an example of an umbrella. I don't know whether you were watching the briefing yesterday, or you had the opportunity to watch the briefing yesterday.
I actually haven't had the opportunity to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to give you a quick update. So Honorable Shangula used the example of an umbrella, justifiably. If I'm allowed to paraphrase, he said, when it's raining outside, you automatically or instinctively go and pick up your umbrella to go out with.
Yeah.
You are never, expectant that the government should be putting in some mandatory regulation to actually push you to use this umbrella when it's raining outside.
Keep you from getting wet. Yeah.
Yes, and this is one of the things that he was referring to, as in as much as the mandatory part or the criminalization of the non-usage of masks in public places
been
is no
lifted.
longer in
Yeah.
place, common sense is another word that was also used,
Yes.
should prevail in the sense that the pandemic is not over.
Yes.
The worst impact thereof might have been, slowed down and so
Yes.
on. But COVID is still around, and common sense should actually lead us to continue using our masks. Do you think this example sufficed?
Indeed it does, because, when it's raining outside as an individual, you do not wait for someone to tell you that, hey, it's raining outside, you should take precautionary measures, maybe have an umbrella or take an umbrella. So you automatically know that if it's raining outside, you're gonna get wet. So for you to prevent yourself from getting wet, you have to take then the safety measures, which could be the umbrella. So indeed, the minister was right. This example it's practical.
Okay. But also, Hileni, in your opinion, and this is something that came to mind, yesterday after the briefing, realistically speaking, on the ground, a large majority of people have actually not been wearing their masks
Yes,
in public spaces unless, for example, they are going into a shop. Because obviously then the shop managers or the securities at the shop would not allow them to go in, of course. But with regards to public spaces, open spaces, which is where the criminal element, the mandatory element starts before you even go into a shop, many people had been ignoring this. Do you think, in your opinion, the removal thereof, the fact that many had already stopped wearing this, do you think there would be a significant difference with regards to infection rates now that, the mandating thereof has been removed?
Okay. Desire, so honestly speaking, I've had the chance to go drive by informal settlements and locations. And I've seen in most cases people don't go around wearing masks. And I've had a chance to travel to the coast last month. And you find, for example, restaurants, I'm not going to say names, in the coast, and they are selling food and they still were not wearing masks. So what I've observed is that here in Windhoek, it was actually more respected that we would wear masks, especially here in town. But as far as going to the location and other towns, I'm not too sure. Well, I can't speak for them. I wish they can call us in studio and tell us what the situation on the ground is. But people became relaxed as the situation went, and I'm just thinking it did not take the president, or it shouldn't have taken the president to tell us to wear masks to protect ourselves. It's an instinct that should have automatically applied. That the pandemic is still with us. The masks were mandatory. It's not by force. We are doing so to protect ourselves. And hence.
Okay. When COVID hit in 2020, a lot of scrambling was done. With all honesty, it was something new. We weren't familiar with it. The globe in general was not familiar with what to do with it. And emergency. What do they call it? Lockdowns, state of emergencies were declared across many countries in the globe, and these state of emergencies came along with a lot of regulations. On a lighter note, maybe, can you maybe inform us of, or give us from your perspective, one of the most annoying regulations?
Well, okay. So I actually didn't perceive it as annoying as such, because I believe it had to do with me protecting. The protection was for me to get protected and protect those around me. So it's a pity that really generally it was perceived as such, that now we have to be wearing masks, and it's not the norm. It's usually not the norm. And now we have to be, I for one actually like the social distancing part, because then when you go to shops and whatnot, you don't stand so much close to other people. So I actually didn't find it as in nuisance, kind of. Yeah, I thought it was just precautionary measures being put in place to protect me and the next person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I think that is one thing also that I picked up with regards to the social distancing thing. As much as it was a regulation, I think many people, I can most likely only speak for myself and others similar to me, we've never actually realized how much as people we don't give each other personal space when we are moving in public areas.
True that.
And when this regulation came into place, it's when the awareness thereof actually was enlightened or heightened within us. And then when things got a bit relaxed, you will notice that a lot of people actually automatically still stuck to it. You would see somebody's face, flouncing when somebody gets too close to them.
Yeah.
Or just moves. You know,
Yeah.
it was that automatic thing, like if one person moves, the next person moves,
I am
just to
that
try
person.
and keep,
I'm that person actually.
you know, just to try and keep that social
Yes.
distancing.
I'm that person. So as much as we say that, I mean, the pandemic has come and it has hit us so bad, I like the fact that we would give each other personal space then. I, for once, don't like it when somebody is standing so close to me. So, yeah. That is the whole issue of social distance I liked much, because then I know that I have my personal space, and it's protected.
Very much so. Pandu earlier on asked or requested us to just give an overview or just state some of the changes that came within the regulations. I have the changes here with me, or at least I believe I have most of them. Maybe we can read them out to you. One of those areas that had changes was the wearing of masks, of course, where it was stated that the wearing of masks in public places is no longer mandatory. However, people who are in close settings, including in public transport, indoor public meetings where some of the attendees are not vaccinated, and other similar settings are encouraged to wear masks. Physical distancing. Physical distance of no less than 1 meter must be maintained at all times. So the social distancing regulation still remains,
Persists, yeah.
or is still, encouraged. The wearing of masks is still encouraged, even though the criminalization of the non-usage has been removed.
lifted, yes.
Yes. There's a second one, the
Yeah.
gatherings,
Yes.
the number of gatherings.
Yes. So the gathering, with regards to the size of public gatherings for the next, or for this dispensation, the size of the public gathering will be adjusted, or is adjusted to from 500 to 1,000 people. And this is applicable to all social gatherings as defined in the regulations, including weddings, funerals, church, sports, or in sporting events.
Yeah. And then another one that hasn't changed much, but where certain encouragements have been made, is measures related to education. These have remained the same, but it is encouraged for teachers, other staff members, and eligible learners to get vaccinated because of the note that has been made of the clustering of COVID-19 infections. And then also the fact that children sit in one classroom and so on, it is very much also to be maintained that they wear masks during these class periods, as well as the teachers that are giving these classes.
Yes, indeed, Desire. So the other one is fully vaccinated travelers are no longer required to produce a negative PCR test result upon arrival at Namibian point of entry, but instead required to present an authentic, valid vaccination card at the point of entry.
Yeah.
So vaccination emphasized.
Yes, very much. So those are the changes that have been made, or that came along with the 41st briefing, COVID-19 briefing yesterday by the President of Namibia. And hopefully, really, we won't have adverse impacts by these changes. I believe as a nation, yes.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that as a nation, we really have come far.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have come far. And I believe that, honestly, as much as this, some of this have been lifted, we still need to practice the necessary precautions and to look out for, and at all times remain alert and keep our surfaces and sanitize our hands and get vaccinated.
Yeah, yeah. Now we have somebody engaging us from Facebook. We've got Richie Third Type, and he's saying government should come out with clear instructions that learners must continue to wear masks in schools or at least in class. Anything else will lead to different interpretations and conflicts. That definitely is a good point, Mr. Richie Third Type. Thank you very much for that one. Government should come out with clear instructions that learners must continue to wear masks in schools or at least in the classroom environment. Anything else will lead to different interpretation and conflicts. That is definitely true. What do you think about that one?
Absolutely true. Because what has changed? Well, the positivity rate has declined, but we shouldn't forget that the pandemic or the virus is still amongst us.
Yes.
Even though it was now reduced, the positivity rate is reduced, so we shouldn't forget that the virus is pretty much still with us, and we should at all times practice the safety measures thereof.
Yeah. We've got a caller on the line. We've got Abdul from Windhoek joining our conversation. Good afternoon, Abdul. How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you doing, my darling? And good afternoon to your listeners. Good afternoon to your guests there. It was a very wonderful time to listen to all your shows and not participating. But otherwise, I will enjoy your show all the time.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
To your point, and to some of your questions, I would like also to put in.
Yeah.
First of all, you know, COVID is not gone, and at the same time, I think we also make a mistake on giving these things to be saying that others must wear masks and masks must be not regulated anymore. I think this is a confusion between the public out there. The reason why, yesterday I was in town, I went to a Hilton hotel, and I was sitting there for many times observing the situation on how these things was being given by His Excellency President.
Yeah.
When I came down to Venue Park and I saw these things they are selling, people are throwing the mask. We say, no, masks must go. Because why? President Agegop has said that no, there will be no more mandated of masks. I think this is something which is already inspiring to the heart of people that no matter what can be the cause, I think they might be supposed to be saying that vaccine must go and people must use masks. Because the reason is we don't know who among the people in the moment has the vaccine, the COVID.
Yeah.
Forming even in an hour or in a second. That's how then we can able to say that masks must not be given to the people to wear. And then when people are seeing you wear the mask, they are laughing at you. They mock at you. They say, look at you, what are you doing? You're putting masks. Then when your president is already given a head, or your government is already given a head that no mask must be regulated. So what are you doing? What are you guys doing? So don't sit here with masks. So you maybe have the COVID. That is what they are looking at you. That the people who have the mask, that now in this moment are the ones who have the COVID still. So that is one thing that we are saying that if vaccine must not be accepted, because we cannot be saying in school, some children are wearing masks, and the other places, working places, some people are wearing masks, some are not wearing masks.
Yeah.
So we don't know. That's one of my points here.
Okay.
And the second point is about the water that my dear sister was seeking in the municipality, giving water for free.
Yeah.
And the COVID. That is not true statement. And the municipality, they must come up and clear this statement that I'm going to say. It is not true because I went most of this region have been saying giving water for free. People have been charged. It's like, for example, they told you, no, you can use the whole water on the period of the COVID, but when you check your meter box, when you are paying back, most of this water that was using at the previous of all those maybe 6 months, whatever, it comes in your bill and you are paying for it. And then municipality is charging $1 per house per every day. That is $45. Where is that money going to? So
Wow.
that's what we are saying, that they must not say that they are giving water in COVID for free. It's not like a commerce anywhere. You can go through by, if I'm lying, you can ask many of these people. They may be able to come up and then they will tell you the same. Even me myself, I'm sitting here. I was affecting the same. My water bill goes 9,000. Where do I have money to pay 9,000? It's all the 1 year of the COVID lockdown. I didn't have money, but I have to sacrifice and I deposit 3,000 and then start paying step by step. You understand what I'm saying? So please, we are saying that if they want to help the people, they must have 3 ways. People must pay FF until they finish their bills. No closing the water, no putting off the electricity. Because at the end of the day, these are the things that we need in our daily life. We have to cook, we have to make sure that we have electricity to see the dark. If it's dark, how do you see? So please, that is what I wanted to request from the government and from the municipality and from the private sector. Let's help each other. Thank you very much, my darling.
Okay. No, thank you very much, Abdul. Your points are quite relevant, actually. And it has shed light to some of the things that, other people out there might not have been inside privy to. So thank you very much.
We must look at our fingers. They're not the same.
Yeah.
The situation is not in the position where we all can say, okay, everybody can afford.
Yeah.
Let's try to see the needy and the one who already haven't to help the needy.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much. A message ahead.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Have a pleasant day, Abdul. And with that, unfortunately, we are coming close to the end of our show, but we are very much grateful to everybody who tuned in this afternoon. I think, taking from Abdul's point, firstly, it's the confusion that is now being created by the mixed. It's not misinformation, it's just the mixed interpretation of what it means to remove the mandatory aspect when it comes to masks. Very much. And also with the fact that now there is a high risk of stigmatization because now people who are wearing masks are now being seen as possibly being infected, or as Abdul said, being laughed at, being looked at and mocked and being seen as fools just because they want to continue using that particular method to protect themselves. And I think with regards to the whole free water disbursement and so on that was carried out in 2020 especially, from Abdul's statement, these meters were still running. They were still charged. They were still billed. So I think from his point of view, he's trying to say, can these municipalities meet the residents halfway? Because now they are having issues of their water being cut, their electricity is being cut because of outstanding water bills that are exuberantly high. So maybe we can look into having a representative from the city or somebody else who works with these bodies, and maybe we can divulge and create a topic out of that just to create more information for the public out there. But we have come to that point, Helene.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for keeping me company this afternoon, for having that conversation with me. I hope I'll have you some other time again, please.
Very soon.
Thank you. With that said, we would like to say have a good day further, and please enjoy the celebrations of our upcoming independence, which will be taking place at the coast on Monday, the 21st of March. It is celebrating 32 years of independence. So happy birthday, Namibia, in advance, and to you as a nation, from myself, Shianwa Desire Kahiha, and my co-host,
Helene Felebosa-Munyela.
and also very much my lovely production crew, whom I appreciate very much. Have a good day and bye-bye.